Hello everyone, today we're going to look at translating from English to math. So we have this table that's in the book, so I'm just going to go over it a little bit. So some words that mean addition: more than, sum of, increased by, added to, greater than, plus, total, things like that. Subtraction, the difference between, decreased by, diminished, minus, and then these three at the end that are in italics: less than, subtracted from, smaller than. Those are where the order is kind of reversed. If I say something like 5 less than 10, it's not 5 minus 10, it's 10 minus 5. 3 subtracted from 7 is 7 minus 3. So you kind of have to switch the order of the numbers. Remember that subtraction, the order matters, as opposed to addition, it's commutative. It doesn't matter. 3 plus 4 is 4 plus 3. Okay. And then multiplication, we have product, we have the word of, we have times, double, twice, triple, thrice, all those numbers that mean I'm going to multiply it by a specific number. So double means I'm going to multiply it by 2. Twice means I'm going to multiply it by 2. Triple means I'm going to multiply it by 3. And then division, divided by, quotient, ratio, split into equal parts. Right, so you're going to see those words a lot. There could be some other ones too, but hopefully it's fairly easy to determine which of the 4 major operations they are. So we're going to go through some examples. Translate the following into an algebraic expression. The sum of 3 and a variable. Whenever you see words like variable, quantity, unknown, a number, then you can choose whatever symbol you want to represent them. Typically people choose X or N, but again, anything that's not already given a specific value you can use. So the sum of 3 in a variable, sum means addition. So it's going to be 3 plus, I chose X. Again, it's the same thing as X plus 3. The product of 3 and a number. Product means multiplication. So 3 times whatever symbol I want to use, I'm going to use N here. 5 less than an unknown. So less than is one of those key ones where the variables or the letters, the numbers are going to change. So it's not 5 minus an unknown, it's some unknown minus 5. And again, I can put whatever I want as that unknown. So I have z minus 5 in this case. But again, these two, the order is switching. The quotient of a value and 10. Quotient means division. So the value I'm going to call m, and 10 is 10. So the quotient of a value and 10 is going to be m divided by 10. The ratio of 12 and a quantity. Ratio is another word that means division. So 12 divided by q. Notice these are in the order. I have the value first, then I have 10. I have 12 first, then I have the quantity. Thrice a number, diminished by 7. So now we're getting into, you might have more than one operation. So thrice means I'm going to multiply my number by 3. So 3 times, and whatever I want to call my variable. Diminished by means subtraction, and then 7. So 3x minus 7. I multiply first, and then I subtract 7. 8 greater than an unknown. Greater than means plus. So 8 plus, I'm going to call my unknown u. So then we'll have some more where we've got more than one operation. The product of 3 and the sum of 8 and a quantity. So sometimes people have trouble deciding which operation is going first. So you just have to be really careful in the way that it's written. It's the product of 3 and something. So product means multiplication. So I'm going to take the product of 3 and something. what is that something? That something is the sum of 8 and a quantity. I'm going to call my quantity y. Sum means addition. So product of 3 and something, 3 times something, that something is a sum. Make sure you put it in parentheses. And I wrote it without the x being multiplication, so 3 times 8 plus y. The sum of the product of 3 and a quantity with 8. So now I've switched the order of the words. So this is the sum of, so something plus something. What am I taking the sum of? I'm taking the sum of the product of, so something times something, 3, and a quantity. Or now I'll call it Q for quantity. So that's the product. And I'm going back to the sum of 8. Okay, so it's the sum of something with 8. That something is the product of 3 and the quantity. So I have, again, the product of something and a sum, and the sum of a product and something. So you really just got to be careful about the way that it's written, because these two things are very, very different, even if I had used the same variable. Twice a value plus 4. Twice means 2 times. So I'm going to take a value, I'm going to call it n, and I'm going to multiply by 2, and then plus 4 is plus 4. A value increased by half of the value. So I choose some letter to represent a value. I'll call it m. So there's a value. Increased by means I'm going to add. Half of means multiplication. The value is still m. So m plus half of m. Right, if I wanted to simplify that, right, that's just 3/2 m. But leaving it as the algebraic expression, m plus 1/2 m. And then the last one, a quotient of 4 less than a number and 12. Okay, so this is again where I've got two operations. I've got quotient, so something over something. So it's a quotient of 4 less than a number. So 4 less than means I'm going to be subtracting 4. A number, pick a variable. I'll call it x. So it's a quotient of x minus 4 and 12. So x minus 4 over 12. Okay, so make sure you read through the lesson in the book and try the homework, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.